As I walked down the abandoned street, my heart raced with fear. The wind howled, sending shivers down my spine, and the only sound was my own footsteps echoing in the darkness. Suddenly, I saw a figure in the distance. It was a woman, dressed in a tattered black dress, with long dark hair covering her face. She was standing perfectly still, staring at me with hollow eyes. I tried to turn and run, but my legs wouldn't move. I was paralyzed with terror. As I watched, the woman began to glide towards me, her hair lifting in the wind like tendrils of smoke. With each step she took, the ground beneath her feet cracked and crumbled. And then, as she drew closer, I realized that she wasn't walking, she was levitating. From behind the veil of hair, I could see her mouth opening wider and wider, until it seemed to stretch impossibly across her face. Her teeth were razor sharp and glistening in the moonlight. As she neared me, I could feel her breath on my skin, cold and putrid. I wanted to scream, but no sound would come out. And then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, she vanished into thin air. I was left alone, gasping for air, drenched in sweat. The memory of that night still haunts me. I know that I'll never forget the terror of facing that spectral woman in the darkness. For weeks after that encounter, I was plagued by nightmares about her. In my dreams, she would appear suddenly, floating towards me with that same gaping mouth and those razor-sharp teeth. I tried to tell myself that it was all just a figment of my imagination, but the fear that gripped me was real, so real that it felt like a living thing, twisting inside me and threatening to tear me apart. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to seek help from a psychic medium, someone who could help me make sense of what had happened to me and, hopefully, rid me of this nightmare once and for all. The medium, an older woman with kind eyes and a soft voice, listened patiently as I recounted my experience. And then, after a moment of thoughtful silence, she began to speak. "What you encountered was a vengeful spirit," she said. "She was once a human, but something happened, something terrible, and her soul became trapped between worlds. And now she seeks revenge on anyone she comes across." I shuddered at the thought of being targeted by a vengeful ghost. "What can I do?" I asked. "There is a ritual," the medium said. "It's dangerous, but if performed correctly, it can send the spirit back to where it came from." She explained the details of the ritual to me, and I listened carefully, trying to memorize every step. Then, with a heavy heart, I set out to perform the ritual. I went back to the same street where I had first encountered the vengeful spirit. This time, I brought with me the items I needed for the ritual: candles, salt, and a few other things. As I set up the ritual, my heart hammered in my chest. I was afraid of what might happen, afraid that the spirit would appear again and attack me. But as I performed the ritual, something miraculous happened. The spectral woman appeared once more, her mouth gaping wide, but this time she didn't attack. Instead, she seemed drawn towards the candles and the salt, as if they were repelling her. And then, slowly but surely, she began to fade away, until she was gone, leaving behind nothing but a feeling of peace. I knew then that the medium's ritual had worked, that the vengeful spirit had been sent back to where it came from. And though I still feel a twinge of fear when I walk down that long abandoned street, I know now that I am safe, and that the nightmare is finally over.